You know, you would think that since I am on summer vacation, I would actually have more time to read my comics and my manga, so I could actually make all the reviews that I need to, because I have a lot of manga reviews to do, so I'm, able to review other stuff. But considering that I have, I think, 2 or 3 videos in the bank that I need to actually edit and put out there, and I actually movie and series review, I know, big shocker, since this channel has actually only been about, I think, mangas for the last long time. Anywho, you would think that, but no, I don't have time for that, because I also need to check out my workouts, and I have a lot of shit to do, so I'm not really baking, so I don't have time for it. But I am slowly getting through this comic thing, so I can get back to the manga, so I can review all the things that I need to review, because there is a lot. My name is Daidarius, and welcome to my manga haul of July 2020. Now, before we begin, you might have actually noticed that if you go to the progress bar down here, there will actually be some sections about which manga I'm going to talk about throughout this video. And it got me thinking, do you want more structures, in-depth video where I talk more about some technical aspects of the mangas that I have, such as translations and quality and stuff like that? Some information you actually have to research to find out, then I can present to you, so you have more of a valid foundation to actually figure out if you want to buy this kind of manga or this edition of that manga or not. Or do you more like want to see me just picking up manga and just throwing whatever I think about it at the camera and being enthusiastic about it, or something like that, like the videos you have seen up until now? So, structured or fanboy? So what do you want? Comment below and leave your thoughts, and then for the next video I will put that into consideration. But nevertheless, we're gonna continue with the goofy aspect in this video. So let's get into the manga haul. I will notice that there are some volumes missing from this month, but I will get to that in a bit. But first is Mobile Suit Gundam The Origins Volume 7. So since we are on month 7 of the year, I need to have the 7th volume, because I want to complete this series when we get to December, because then that means that is, out of the way, and I will have room for other mangas. Again, there's not much I can say about it, except that it feels like high quality. It feels heavy in the hands, but not too heavy. It's not like my, omnibus for the Darkest Night or anything. It feels good in the hands. It has a reasonable size. But the thing I've noticed is that the cover is becoming more and more simple. Now, as far as I can see, where I'm ordering these from, this is not gonna keep going like this. It's gonna become more and more complex again, like it was in the beginning. But the last 2, I think, has only just been one person. Maybe it's even the last thing. No, the last 2, I think. But that doesn't mean the covers aren't gorgeous. As you can see, there is a good high amount of details on it, and it is in painting. And also the back side is also quite awesome. But again, I have to raise these questions. How come that the spines doesn't add up to either the cover or the back side? And since you can see that it looks like this spine here is part of a bigger picture, a bigger image, how come that the rest of the spines of the mangas, it doesn't add up? So here we have the 6th and the 7th spine, and as you can see, they don't add up, but they are clearly distinct from the covers. So what gives? But nevertheless, it's the first volume of the second half, and I can't wait to finish this so I can start reading it and see if it is as good / as bad as people say. It's quite divided, their opinion on it. The only thing that's kind of annoying me is that this corner right here is a bit banged up. I don't know why, because they usually are quite, good at not damaging the books. But this little corner is a minor thing. It doesn't really ruin the experience, since the rest of the pages are fine. And next up we have Berserk the Deluxe Edition Volume 5. So that means that finally I have the whole golden age are confined in these deluxe editions, which means I can start reading Berserk. If it wasn't for the fact that I need to finish, you know, The Darkest Night, Solanin, Sondome, Goodnight Pun Pun, Pokemon Adventures, and soon to be Pluto when I finish that. But I will get to it eventually, hopefully later this year, but I won't make any promises. The good thing is I don't need to review this for now because it is not completed yet. And by the pace the manga is been drawn right now, it won't be completed for the next, what, 10 or 15 years. However, I have heard some news that the author, Kentaro Miura, has actually gotten some new assistants and is teaching them his style so they can help out with the art so it can speed up the progress, because it has been going on for more than 30 years and we only have like 41 or 42 volumes. Now, it doesn't mean that he's lazy, because the art in here, especially the latest chapters, are astonishing, so it takes a lot of time. But still, we need to speed up the process because it feels like there's still a lot left of the story. And again, I haven't read Berserk, I've just skimmed the last 10 pages, which means that I am basically an expert in Berserk. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of shit left. Or something. Just a quick summary, I'm gonna get to this at the next entry, but this deluxe edition doesn't have new translations, which I have heard has infuriated a lot of fans of the old editions or the standard editions of Berserk, because there are some translations that might be a bit sloppy or inaccurate. And it kind of bums me out that since they are re-releasing Berserk in a glorious deluxe edition, which have the dimensions of the magazines that they are weekly, or Berserk's case, monthly, bi-yearly or something like that. The dimensions of those magazines are this big, so they are reprinting them in their original size. Why, when you're rebranding your series, don't you just go in and fix the translations? Nevertheless, I am looking forward to it. It is a monster of its own. It is heavy, but still doesn't feel as heavy as the Gundam, which is weird since this is bigger. But nevertheless, it feels like a medieval book. It has the levelly feel of a medieval book, and it has the imprint of the marked one, the chased one, I don't know. This mark, the Berserk mark. But nevertheless, this is the 5th volume, and I think there's gonna be 40 something. Each of these has 3 Berserk volumes in them, and since there is 40, then of course we're gonna have like 13 or 14, give or take. But who knows? But I have the Golden Age arc nevertheless, so I can't wait to actually start reading this year. And now to an actual new series that I'm adding to my collection, and that is, if you've seen the thumbnail, Hellsing, the deluxe edition. So this is in fact the same case as with Berserk. It is Hellsing reprinted in its original size from the magazine. I don't really know if this is a Shonen Jump or not. I don't think it's a Shonen Jump. But nevertheless, the original size. It has gotten the same rebranding as Berserk, which means it is the same size. It is a deluxe edition. This is 4 volumes actually, but they have omitted their campfire volumes from this, because those are gonna be added to the final volume of these. And as with Berserk, they haven't updated translations. And considering the translations was made back in 2000 and noughts, that is also kind of irritating, because again, you're re-releasing Hellsing, you're re-releasing your manga, your old manga, in this glorious big volume. Why not redo the translations? I mean, Hellsing is a fucking short series. Do you know how short this series is? There's only gonna be 3 of these. That's how short it is. So the first 2 is gonna be just the story, and then the 3rd one is gonna be the final part of the story and this campfire chapters, and I don't know if they're gonna put anything else in there. But nevertheless, there's only gonna be 3 of these, which is good, because that means I have, you know, less fill up on my shelf. But I like the feel of it. Again, it is some level of feel. It has, yeah, you can see it there. It has a cross on the cover, and it is blood red because, you know, Alucard, vampire, and stuff like that. Now, I haven't read Hellsing, but I have seen most of the original anime on RTL 2, because this was my entry to anime, and then in a long haul manga. So I have watched Hellsing there, I watched Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball, One Piece, and some other stuff. But ever since I started collecting manga series again last year, I always wanted to get back to Hellsing, but I wasn't sure when I was gonna buy it, and then I saw that they were re-releasing it in these deluxe editions. It's gonna be 3 of them, so I thought to myself, why not? It feels the same in the hands as the Berserk edition. So if you have the Berserk editions and you wonder how this feels and how it looks with the printing, it feels the same. So just remember that, just like Berserk, this is not for kids. So beware. I like the fact that you can just kind of skim it there in the background. Now, for the final entry, because this is the only manga that I bought online, and the reason is that 2 deluxe editions are quite expensive. I mean, just one eats more than 60% of my monthly manga budget, roughly. So you can guess that when I buy 2, it's gonna explode, and then when I buy an expensive volume of Mobile Suit Gundam Origins, then yeah, it's gonna be expensive. But I still managed to buy one more entry to my collection, and that is Pokemon Avengers Gold and Silver Edition, or maybe the 2nd season, I think they also call it, but it covers the gold, silver and crystal part of the games. And in case you don't know, or if you haven't seen my Gotta Collect Them All manga haul, then these covers the game storyline, not the anime with Ash Ketchum storyline. I already have the red, blue and yellow edition, so this was the next step. Now, I am looking forward to actually reading this because it is my childhood incarnated. In case you don't know, I grew up with Pokemon Blue and Pokemon Silver. I played them when they actually came out, and then I fell off the wagon for Generation 3, 4 and 5, and then got back into the game with Generation 6 and 7. I haven't really touched Generation 8 yet because I don't have a Switch. However, the only issue is that the box in itself is kind of banged up. It has a lot of damages around it, but it doesn't matter because I don't really care about the box, so to speak. As long as it just can, contain my volumes, then that's fine. But just like last time, let's have a look inside of this box. Now, just like the first box set, you actually get a little mini poster with this, just one of the sides of the box. I mean, it is a cool poster, but it is small. But just like last time, I got it for free in the box set, so I don't mind getting things for free. Now I know I paid for it, but still, I bought the mangas. So first off, we have volume 8, and the funny thing is that I believe if you go to the box that contains Pearl, Diamond and Platinum, they actually restarted the numbering of them, so it kind of feels like it is its own contained thing. Anyway, it's just something that I noticed. But nevertheless, I like the fact that the 8th one, or the first one in this one, is gold. The 9th one is silver, so following the theme here. And the 10th one is crystal, so to speak. And there's even crystals on here. Then the 11th one, the 12th one, 13th one, and the 14th one is a kind of, it's thick. It's thick compared to the other ones, so it's a behemoth. But nevertheless, that was my manga haul from this month. So yeah, I might have not bought as many volumes, but then I made up for it with buying, a box set. So there's that. As you might have noticed, I was missing 2 series. I missed the newest volume of 20th Century Boy and also missed the next volume of Pluto. But again, it was expensive buying these 2 deluxe editions, and on top of that also buying the Mobile Suit Gundam. So next month I'm actually gonna buy, 20th Century Boy and Pluto. So it's in this series that you were looking forward to actually buying. And also, in case you don't know, I have considered buying Blade of the Immortal. Now you can get them in English in these omnibuses where there are 2 in 1. Unfortunately, Dark Horse, because they are kind of shitheads most of the time, they haven't really reprinted that in a long ass time, which means I think it's the 9th volume specifically is completely out of print. However, when we get to, I think it's November, then there's actually gonna be a hardcover re-release of it. Now, considering it is Dark Horse, I am highly doubting that they're actually gonna, try to change or updating the translations. But nevertheless, it means that someone like me who actually wants to buy Blade of the Immortal but haven't, because there are some of these volumes that are, missing or out of print, I can actually start collecting it then. So that is something I'm looking forward to. Nevertheless, is there any of these mangas that you're looking forward to actually collecting, or is there other mangas that is coming out that you really have put your sight on, like me with Blade of the Immortals? Who knows? Whatever you think, come. I actually got one more important update. Just 1 second. Jump cut. So, just as a final thing, as I stated at the beginning of this video, I haven't been able to read as much comic or manga as I thought I would, considering I am on vacation, but it doesn't mean I haven't read anything. So I'm still reading through Blackest Night or Darkest Night. Blackest Night, yes, that is what it's called. And I am this far away through. Can you see it? There. So I'm missing, I think, a fifth of the comic. And just in case you're wondering how I'm reading this, I'm reading 2 comics because it is a collection of single volumes. I'm reading 2 volumes before bedtime each day. So I'm getting there. And in case you have read The Blackest Night, I have finally just gotten to the point where Sinestro has become a White Lantern. Spoilers, I guess. But I am rushing through it so I can collect my thoughts and compiling a script for a video so I can get back to Solanen and do the same for that. But I have a lot of thoughts on this, positive and also a lot of negative, but that is not as much on Blackest Night. There are some, but it's not as much on Blackest Night as it is on Western Comics, but nevertheless. So, but back to the outro. So, whatever you think, comment below and your thoughts and yours until I see you in the next video. Remember to stay awesome. Bye! Finish you.